for all. Hostile Cerberus inbound. Be advised, hostile hardened sentry spotted. Hostile UAV above.
What? There was opposition? You need fire support?
Hardcore free-for-all. Black Ops. Mission clock is running. Be advised, hostile UAV incoming. Hostile UAV spotted. Hostile Hellstorm inbound.
mess with the best, die like the rest. You need fire support?
Hardcore free-for-all. Black Ops on mission. Hostile UAV above. Hostile counter UAV above. Radar is down. Be advised, hostile UAV incoming. Be advised, hostile hater in your AO. Hostile UAV above. Be advised, hostile counter UAV is online.
Maybe send trained forces next time?
Hardcore free-for-all. Liquidate all CDP assets. Be advised, hostile UAV incoming. Hostile counter UAV above. Radar is down.
HCXD ready for deployment.
Hostile hater overhead.
HCXD has been destroyed.
Hostile UAV above. Be advised, hostile counter UAV is online. Hostile hater detected.
The 54 Immortals crush all opposition.
What's the prey? sorry for the long intermission, guys. But what was I going with this? Oh yeah, the reason it took so long was because I had to get a mic. Well, I just now realized that mine's been broken and I've been talking to you guys without it working. Well, yeah. You guys probably haven't been able to hear me all this time. So if you guys been liking this stream, go ahead and leave a like, comment down below. And if you're watching this after it comes out on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe if you're new. And let's try and get to a like goal of, let's see, we have 10 subscribers, so let's go ahead and do 10. We'll do one for each subscriber. Yep. So let's get into this. So this second half of the video, the first half was mainly gameplay. The second half is gonna be an informational video, so to say, about the new DLC pack coming out. I think it's the 5th. I think that's the first Friday, or maybe it's second. It comes out next month sometime. It comes out next month sometime around the 5th. Okay. So so yeah, so the DLC pack comes out on the 5th. I don't know when they're gonna start. Well, that's when the, let's so to say, my source, who's never steered me wrong before, he's very, like, out there on the COD, thing. He's constantly giving updates about what's going on, and he's a very reliable source. The first DLC pack that came out, Ascension, or no, it was, what was it called? Give me a second, I'll figure it out. Awakening. Yeah, in the next map pack or DLC, this wasn't by the source, but it most likely will be called Downfall. Which, if you guys don't know why it's called Downfall, well then might want to go check out what's the dude's name? He does videos every day on this stuff, like nearly every day, where he talks about stuff like this. And fake people who are constantly putting out fake DLC spoilers, so to say. And well, what it does is what he does is he checks them out, sees if they're fake or not. If they're fake, he just makes a video telling everyone not to believe that. But most likely, Downfall will be the name of the new DLC pack. So most people don't know this, but well, I've probably already played it, and probably already know what it's gonna be called. I already know when the thing's gonna be coming out, but that's just mainly for you guys to like go through all the things on YouTube and figure out. But well, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Let me see. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you guys don't know this, the DLC 3 pack if you remember the, what was it called? Well, it was, I think it was Shadows of Evil. There was this little page with a bunch of sheets ripped apart, like there was in Mob of the Dead, where if you put them back together, they gave you hints on future DLCs. Well, we've already been to the Giant, and we've already been to Der Eisendrache. And by the way, if you guys don't know, that's actually how you pronounce it. I'm German, I know. I'm also Irish. But that's... Oh, yeah, you like my activity. Oh, dude, by the way, we're talking about the DLC pack. If you don't know, DLC pack 2. It's supposed to take place on an island. And, well, yeah. Sup, Solar Gaming. So what I'm practically... What?
Do you have a new zombie map?
No, do you?
Yeah, and I have 2 Perkaholics, 1 Tram, 2
Wait.
Kills.
Oh, what's the new map?
The Rising Draw.
Oh, that's not very new.
Yeah, do you have that map though?
Next month on the 5th, they're actually releasing DLC Pack 2, which takes place in Pompeii, which, if you don't know, that's the island where, what's the dude's name? Can't remember the dude's... No, if you guys have played, what game was that? I think it was World at War. You were in Pompeii. They're remaking that map. Like Der Eisendrache. Der Eisendrache, that's a remake. So is The Giant. These are all remakes of maps that we've already been in.
Okay. What? Huh?
And what they do is they remake it, add a new storyline, and then what they practically do is they add new storyline and they change it to make it to where they change the actual events.
But do you know in the new map is there gonna be bows?
Wait, what?
Is there gonna be the bow in the new map?
Yeah, it's predicted to be on the 5th.
But is there gonna be the bows that are in the Rising Draw?
There is no bow in the new one. There are weapons that have practically the same powers as the bows. They're called katanas. Or, hineshunas.
Okay.
I don't know if I pronounced that right, so don't mess with me.
Do
What?
you have the Rising Draw?
Yes, I do. I'm currently looking at it right now, and it's not Der Eisendrache. It's Der Eisendrache.
Oh. Do you want to play? What gumballs do you have?
I'm not certain at the moment. I think I used my 3 Perkaholics I had.
You know, here, just to give you a tip, every time you die on the game, let's say me and you die, right?
Yeah.
And then, when I die, I'm gonna quit out of the game, like, right before it ends, if we both die, so I keep all my perks, even if I use them. But I still get the XP and all that.
Okay, but, me, I once had, max prestige level 1000, but I, sort of reset my stats, so... I'm back down to that, but currently Gobble Gobs I have burned out, where is it, I have unquenchable, and that's it.
Just use your best ones.
I have unquenchable, burned out. Wait, what happened to my dead man walking?
Okay, well, do you want to use, do you want to play the Rising Draw? Hold on, do you want to get the sword in the Rising Draw?
Wait, did it get rid of my dead man's walking when I reset my stats?
Done. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
That was my best perk. I used it all the time.
Dude, do you have Shadows of... Do you know how to get the sword in Shadows of Evil?
No, I've tried. I can't do it.
How hard is it?
Pretty hard.
Are you good at sniping?
Not very much. I'm currently just mainly talking about the DLC Pack 2 that's supposed to be coming out. They have, katanas, which they have a thunder, they have a lightning one, a storm, and then I think it's, ice, lightning,
Which one's the best one?
and thunder. Out of the swords they're gonna be coming out with, I would personally say ice, because if you've ever played, what's the map, with, that one dude, every time you'd kill that one dude, he'd give you a perk. What map is that?
So then what?
Well, it was practically like on that map, when you shot a zombie and it instantly freezes into a block of ice, no matter if it was on like round one, how many rounds it lasts to. If the coding is right, it will last up to 30 rounds, which that will actually be enough to do the Easter egg. Well, I don't really, well, I do kind of, but this, like in Shadows of Evil, this one that one's not very hard to do very much in, but this one, I don't know if you guys have this, but I'm just going to show you this map real quick. The Giant.
What?
Every update they do, they add new code towards an Easter egg. The Easter egg won't be fully complete until at least DLC Pack 3, when every, well, DLC Pack 3, maybe 4, depending on, how they wrap up, what's his name's story, that's Takio. The person you currently have is Takio. I have Dempsey. I can't say his name. But Dempsey, he likes to break the fourth wall a lot in this map, Der Eisendrache. Personally, have you guys ever played Origins?
No.
Have you got the ending cutscene? He makes a lot of references back to that very cutscene with, what's her name, Samantha, and that one kid who, it doesn't tell us his name. But the most, common thing I've heard out of him is, well, the most uncommon thing, which, what's his name? There's Takio, Dempsey, Richtofen. Do you guys know who Richtofen is?
Yes.
Well, I was playing with, a Richtofen. I was playing with another dude who was Richtofen and, Richtofen and Dempsey. That was the last gameplay I played on zombies. That's why my character's still Dempsey. But Richtofen, he made this quote while fighting the Panzer. He said this quote right here, and I won't ever forget it. He's like, this thing just seems to get harder every time we fight it. It's like I've done this before, though. And then Dempsey responded with this quote, which, again, I will never forget. He's like, it is getting harder because of Samantha. or as we like to know, the two kids that are controlling us. And I instantly snapped back to the Origins cutscene. I even looked up on YouTube to make sure there wasn't anything similar to the Origins cutscene, and, well, Der Eisendrache. But there are so many different things that are really common between them. Like, there's the scratching on the bed pole, which actually, it's sort of something that goes along with this. But most people wouldn't know it. There is also the exact same rocket ship from Der Eisendrache in that very cutscene. So there's also Panzers and the exact same type of zombies that are on this map. So I was like, wonder if I can find anything else. And then I found something. Like, over 6 years, 6 to 7 years in the making, before this game even came out, there was a Der Eisendrache poster on the wall. Yes. Most people don't know this, but I actually think, because there's so many similarities, and the fact that there's a Der Eisendrache poster on the Origins cutscene wall, is because I think they're not playing Origins like most people think they are in the end cutscene. I think they're playing Der Eisendrache. Did you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that also throws me off is there's a certain place on the map, like shortly after you do the cutscene with the doctor. Do you guys know that cutscene?
Mm-hmm.
The timed cutscene. Depending on where you spawn up, because you can spawn up in 2 different spots. Depending on which one you spawn up, there's a quick spot. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. There's like a spot where you could get to. You have to do it very quickly as soon as you're allowed that one room. Depending on if you get the plunger. You have to get the plunger, and then what you do is you go over to you go down to where the pyramid is, and if you do it just right, and there's the floaty stuff where you can float around in. If you get there, and the floating around stuff is there, there's actually a chance you'll actually hear a quote from Samantha that was said during the cutscene of Origins. It's very hard to get, but I've only ever did it once, and I did it completely on accident.
Well, but what did the cutscene say?
You won't actually get the cutscene. You'll get the...
Well, what did it say?
You'll hear what she says at the very beginning of the Origins cutscene at the very end. If you don't know what that is, you should probably go to YouTube and look up the Origins cutscene.
But what is the cutscene? What did she say when you unlocked the
I don't
special room?
remember exactly. I didn't even really realize that was the thing until after. I didn't even realize that was the quote she said. Because I heard that and I didn't even really know Samantha all that much. Because it's been forever since I played Origins. And then shortly after I heard that quote Shortly after I heard the quote between Dempsey and Richtofen, I instantly went and looked up the thing. I completed what round I was on. I ended up dying. But I went over to YouTube and I looked up the cutscene. I noticed that was the line she said, and how many differences there was in between Der Eisendrache and the Origins cutscene. so much that actually makes me infer that Der Eisendrache is what they were doing in the Origins cutscene. Do you guys have any takes on this? Do you guys have any takes on that?
So that's why you know a lot about it?
Yeah, because I've been so freaked out about it because, well, I like to go in deep in the zombie storyline. Which
Why?
most people don't know, but Samantha actually didn't take over in the pyramid until I think it was the very last Black Ops on the very first Black Ops game, the very last DLC released with the zombies map on the original Black Ops. I think that was the one where she got put in the pyramid.
I'm saying that for the trip.
And then in the third DLC in Black Ops 2, she got taken out of the pyramid. Yes, but see, the Keeper, which if you don't know who that is, that's the big guy you fight at the very end of Der Eisendrache before you get the end cutscene where they blow up the moon. If my calculations are correct with this, the Keeper, he was able to get into the pyramid because this takes place before the third DLC pack on Black Ops 1. This map was, I think, the second DLC map on Black Ops 1. I'm pretty sure.
You're joking, right?
So therefore, they added a bunch of new stuff to change the storyline.
Oh, bye. Bye, guys.
Okay, see ya. But, well, basically, if they changed the storyline, Samantha was never really in the pyramid to begin with. Therefore, the Keeper could get in. But then they went in and they destroyed the Keeper. Therefore, the pyramid needs a new host. So I was thinking, maybe when they sent it to the moon, because it got blown up from the moon, the pyramid actually teleported somewhere else, and somehow Samantha stumbled into the teleporters like she did in the original thing, the original Black Ops, where she actually where she actually got teleported into the pyramid. She stepped into a teleporter which teleported her into the pyramid. So with that, I was thinking maybe that happened too, but because we never knew really where the actual pyramid teleported to. But I was thinking it didn't teleport to the moon like they thought it did. It teleported where was the one place where she stepped into the teleporter and actually got taken away? Do you remember that one map with the pyramids? Hello? Do you remember the one map with the pyramids? Doris or something like that? Something like Doris. Or maybe it was Die-Rise. I think it was Die-Rise. If you actually... I don't know. But if you actually look in that starting cutscene with, I don't remember on which game it was, but that, there's actually a piece of a page laying somewhere on Der Eisendrache with a picture of Samantha's arm with the teddy bear. And it matches perfectly with Die-Rise. Part of the background on the Die-Rise setup. But she was never originally there. So I was thinking maybe she actually went into Die Rise. Maybe the pyramid got sent there, and well, she stepped into a teleporter and she got teleported there. But well, because there's an actual page with Samantha and the teddy bear she normally carries around laying somewhere on Der Eisendrock that matches up with that page. I was thinking maybe Samantha now is in charge of the zombies. But what always got me was, see how the zombies' eyes are yellow? The yellow eyes were always when Samantha was controlling it. When, what's his name was controlling it? What's that dude's name? Give me a second, I know this. What? No, not the Shadow Man. Let me see, what's that dude's name? Richtofen. Richtofen at one point... Did you hear me? Hello? Richtofen at one point was indeed in the pyramid. But when he was in the pyramid, the eyes on the zombies were red and blue. But as you can see, they're yellow. Even when the Shadow, or not the Shadow Man, when the Keeper was in the thing, the zombies' eyes were a darker orange. But as you can see, they're a bright yellow. They're a bright yellow right now. Which makes me think, what if Samantha is actually in the pyramid right now? Just somewhere else on a different dimensional plane. Like, maybe there's an identical Earth that, because it even mentions if you find that page, it's all ripped up across Shadows of Evil. There's actually a bunch of different Earths that are connected through different ways with X's on them. So I was figuring, what if one Earth was connected to another Earth so much that the rifts from Shadows of Evil maybe somehow crossed over, like, with the rifts in between the worlds, enough to where that the pyramid from that world where Samantha is actually still in control of the pyramid actually somehow affects this, somehow affects the the universe we're currently in. And you know that they're in a different universe, seeing how Shadows of Evil, if you complete the Shadows of Evil, the Shadows of Evil cutscene, at the very end, Richtofen comes through and grabs that, circle thing, what's it called? What is that thing called? Do you know what it's called? That circle ball thing that Richtofen grabs. No, it's that ruin thing. The circle ball from Shadows of Evil. Well, I don't remember what it's called exactly. But in the very end of Shadows of Evil, he grabs the ball. And he says, "Thank you. I'll be taking this to my Earth now." And then he jumps through the thing again, and then it closes. The rift, as they're called. It's called a rift. Are you talking about the ball thing? It's a rift. A dimensional rift. He steps through and says, "Thank you. I'll be going back to my Earth now." And then he steps through and the portal closes completely. Which makes me think he mentions my Earth. Which makes me think, what if the Shadows of Evil takes place on a different Earth? seeing how Richthofen can actually exist in that time period, but it looks like it's from the 60s.
Why are you so gay, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's from the 60s. But the giant looks like it's in modern times. Well, modern-ish. Maybe that one looks like it's 70s, late 60s, early 70s. The giant looks like it takes place during late 80s, beginning 90s. And then Der Eisendrache is the one that looks the oldest, although it's got very modern technology. This looks like it takes place during like the 40s. Actually, it looks like it takes place during the 20s. Shells of Evil looks like it takes place during the Great Depression, which was in the 1920s. This one actually looks like it takes place a little before that, like in the 1870s, 1890s. Yet they have modern technology, which means it's actually got to be in modern times. Maybe late 90s. Which, if these all add up right, Der Eisendrache should actually be around the same time as the giant. Maybe a year's length different. That's why in the giant, you can see the head from the robot from Origins, but you also see the robot from Origins in Der Eisendrache, which means if they're about a year's difference, Der Eisendrache would actually take place before the giant. See what I'm saying? Like, Der Eisendrache would take place before the giant, because they use the robot, which his head is clearly hanging up in the giant. Because, not Der Eisendrache, I don't know why I said that. Richthofen, he accidentally trapped her in the pyramid. And so she wanted revenge on Richthofen. So she controlled the zombies to go after those four protagonists. Dempsey, he breaks the fourth wall by saying stuff that actually makes sense. And like, he's talking about the people controlling him, aka us. Richthofen, he's the sciencey one that actually figured out how to get Samantha out of the pyramid, and he took it for himself. Which, if you don't know where I'm going with this takes place during the moon, in Black Ops 2. He figures out a way to actually get her out of the pyramid, and Samantha switches bodies with him. What she tells us basically blows the whole reason why. Have you ever wondered why the zombies get harder as you go on with zombies mode? No. Close, but no. Every time a zombie is killed, the zombies around him get the pyramid strengthens. The more zombies you kill, the stronger the pyramid comes. Therefore, the zombies become stronger because the zombies are controlled by the pyramid. And so, Not really. This, no, it just messes with the zombie difficulty. The zombies, they get stronger the more zombies you kill. Therefore, like, maybe if you had like a few thousand points to begin off the game with, you didn't kill no zombies, you went straight up, hit like the mystery box and stuff, and you didn't do anything besides like complete the Easter egg, you didn't kill any zombies, you could probably kill the keeper in one hit with a bow. If they gave you like, cause zombies, what were you saying? Well, with the zombies, if you didn't kill a single one, not one single zombie, the zombies practically wouldn't be able to kill you if you had like a few thousand points. There's a theory that goes out on the zombies community that if you had the ability to start the game like with maybe 50,000 and you could open up every door in the map and complete the Easter egg just physically going through it without having to kill any zombies, you'd probably be able to complete the Easter egg. You could probably be able to complete the Easter egg within the first 5 minutes of being on the map. And you probably physically would be able to beat the zombies mode, because after a while, if you don't know this, after a while the zombies start to die off by their own, therefore you didn't kill them, and so the zombies didn't get stronger. So there's this theory, which can't be tested at the moment because, well, Treyarch doesn't give you the opinion of how much money you start off with. So, you practically have to kill the zombies to get money. But if you didn't, there's this theory that, if you didn't kill any zombies within a certain amount of time, no zombies would spawn. They would just start dying off and none would spawn and none would come after you. Which I would love to test that theory, but again, as I said, Treyarch doesn't give us enough money to start off with. Just 500 measly bucks. There's also another theory that, I don't remember exactly what it is exactly, but it's like, the reason why that we're, going back to older maps is because we're actually in Samantha's consciousness. And, well, if that's true, the giant, which, if you don't know, that's where this, like, basically all started out. Then there was Der Eisendrache, which I don't think it was called Der Eisendrache. And it went so forth. So if this truly is Samantha's memory, these would be, we'd only be going to all the different places that Samantha was in control of the pyramid in, which was the giant, which it wasn't named the giant, Der Eisendrache, which again wasn't named Der Eisendrache, there was, Pompeii, which I think was named Pompeii, and then there was, the moon. Well, not the moon so much, but Dairise. She was in Dairise. She was indeed in the pyramid, which was the step before the moon. Which I'm thinking, since how we've been to the giant, Der Eisendrache, next DLC we're 99% sure that we're gonna go to Pompeii. Which, if we do, that would prove my theory is right. That we're going to we're currently in Samantha's conscious. Which, the giant, that takes place last. But it was given to us first. So the first map we got was the giant. That's why there's no Easter eggs on it. they just add more steps every time a new DLC comes out or a new update comes out. Because every time they release a new DLC, it packs up to how they got to the giant. And if my idea is right and we're in Samantha's conscious, I think that at the very end of the giant, when we complete the Easter egg, Samantha will wake up and it'll be like the Origins cutscene with like their little kids. But instead of being like that, she'll wake up in her bed in like a nightmare with what's his name? Richtofen. No, with Richtofen, like at her bedside. Seeing how Richtofen was in Origins the person who told her to close the window and get down to wherever he was at. But I figured that can't really be true, since how we saw three of the four main protagonists of the zombie storyline. We saw Richtofen, not Dempsey. We saw Richtofen, Takio, and what was that dude's name? I can't really remember. What? What? I haven't played Shadows of Evil enough to realize that, because I didn't really open up too many pods. Well, let me see, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, in the end of the Origins cutscene, you could see Takio, Richtofen, and what's that one dude's name who's always, like, drunk? There's Dempsey, Takio, Richtofen, and there's a third dude, a Russian. Roganov or something like that. You can only see that Roganov person or the Russian. Not Dempsey. You can see the Russian, Takio, and I can't remember the dude's name now. Takio, the Russian, and Richtofen. You can see Richtofen, Takio, and the Russian. But the one person you don't see, who you actually look through the eyes of them, is the one protagonist, Dempsey. He's the only person you don't see, which means the person you'd actually have to be during that cutscene is Dempsey. Which, if you don't know, because Dempsey, everyone has the exact same outfit they wore in the Origins cutscene, but we don't know. That's another reason why I think Der Eisendrache is really the Origins cutscene. But we never see Dempsey's outfit, so we don't really know if that is the Origins cutscene, is Der Eisendrache. Because during the Origins cutscene, we never saw his outfit, so to say. So we don't know what he physically looks like. Except for what he looks like in the game. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. What? What? The hat. No one was wearing a hat in KIDGile. KIDGile? So there actually was a map named KIDGile. So it was what? So that practically connects KIDGile to which game was the one with Origins on it? It was Black Ops 2, wasn't it? Or was it Black Ops 1? So it's Black Ops 1. Okay. So what were you saying? Oh, but I also have some more zombies knowledge. Well, have you played Black Ops 1 story mode, Black Ops 2 zombie story mode, and then Black Ops 3 zombie story mode? No, that was nightmare mode. That was nightmare mode. No, they did not have zombies. I completed the storyline. They did not have zombies. They had robots, but no zombies. Sarah Hall. Taylor. I don't remember Samantha being in there, but where I was going with the thing, you know how in every zombies campaign mode type thing, there's one level with with 4 characters, 3 males and a female, right? Well, if you go back and you look at the story mode from like each of them, they somehow, I don't remember exactly how, but they like connect into each other because, well, there's actually, I think, three story mode things in Black Ops 1 with the black dude, the nerdy scientist, I don't remember the one girl's name, but she's like this cowgirl type thing. And then there's the Asian, which they go through these, in Black Ops 1, they go through this thing where, like, they're trying to figure out what happened to them, because they all lost their memories. And then they figured out they're in a post-apocalyptic time period. But it's not really a post-apocalyptic time period. Richtofen, old Richtofen, not young Richtofen, the nerdy scientist person. Him, he doesn't sound German like he's supposed to. He sounds like, Peter Parker. Have you ever heard Peter Parker? You've never watched the Spider-Man movies? I'm pretty sure he's Spider-Man from the, old collection. Pretty sure that's who plays his voice. But I'm not certain about that. Well, throughout that you can hear old Richtofen's voice that sounds more German. No. Infection? Infection. I know I've actually mentioned that in one of my live streams. I even tried to hit the house with I tried to hit the house with a tomahawk, but what happened was I threw the tomahawk through the wall. I heard this maniacal, that exact same thing right there after I threw the tomahawk through the building. I was kind of creeped out after that, and I was like, huh, very weird. But I still haven't figured out where that's like going. So not exactly off the top of my head, no. Under, Smith's house, yeah. I've never personally tried that. I found something very special. Like, do you remember, like, you know how in the very beginning, after you come out of, like, a zombies map, or you go into, like, I think it happens again when you go into the zombies thing. Like, oh, no, it doesn't. You have to become freshly out of a match. This thing where he goes through the woods. Right? Where it shows him through the woods. Back in, back before they released the first update, that right there, it was a completely different scene. It was a scene with a dude who was telling this story instead of it just being no noise and you just come out in a forest. He was actually telling a story as you came out of it. He was telling a story about his life. I'm pretty sure it was Dempsey telling the story. It was in Dempsey's voice. So, Dimsey, or however you pronounce it. But, if you actually looked at the items in the background, you could actually match those up with a place on on the map Infection. Yeah. Wait, what did it say? The guy with the guy with the little Irish cap? Yeah. The guy who got shot by the police in Shadow of Evil. That was... no. I don't remember. Yeah, he was the dude who was shot in the very beginning cutscene in Shadows of Evil. That was the dude from Mob of the Dead. Because if you don't remember in the ending cutscene on Mob of the Dead, he actually escapes and gets out of Alcatraz, as it is called. He gets out of it and he actually goes to a town, and then it completely cuts it off and you never figure out what happened to that dude. But that is the exact same dude from the Shadows of Evil beginning cutscene. The policeman actually shoots him. But if you look very closely at the newspaper that the blood gets shattered at, I'm pretty sure there's like this little tiny article which talks about a dude who escapes Alcatraz. Which, if you don't know, that's the actual dude who just got shot by the policeman. I don't. You must give your soul. If you don't remember, That's what was whispered every time on Mob of the Dead, every time you turned into the ghost. Every time you downed yourself and you came that little apparition thing. That was like the, they only once ever did anything with the Beast. Do you know the Beast from Shadows of Evil? They only did one other thing like that. It was in Mob of the Dead. Because Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil, most people think they're actually, part of the same Earth, so to say. They'll actually take place during the same time period on the same dimensional plane. So, that would actually mean that, they actually would coexist together. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, if that is right, but most people didn't know this about, this, but, you know how there's these tiny pieces of paper on Shadows of Evil, where you have to go around picking it, you have to go around looking at them, and you can, take like a screenshot, and then if you combine all those pictures together, it completes a whole sheet. Do you? Well, they only did one other thing like that before it came to Der Eisendrache. They did something sort of like it once before, but most people didn't realize this little Easter egg on Mob of the Dead. But one of the people that got put away was a comic book artist. It described, because they were a little comic book piece of paper on Mob of the Dead. When you combined them together, yes, they were indeed a comic book page, but there were a bunch of little red writing scribbled across the paper when you combined it all together that actually gave you hints on the future DLCs that came along. There's only one hint that no one was able to solve from that poster, which Treyarch told us. It was an actual hint that told us that the person that got shot in Shadows of Evil by the cop, he was the comic book artist. So yeah. Any ideas? Nothing, not even with what I said? What? Oh yeah, why? Do I know how to give you my game? I can't let you, like, I could probably let you play my game while I'm sitting here talking to the actual stream, through the party thing. Like, share play. Give me a second. Oh yeah, here. I'm testing my connection speed right now, so I could actually, figure it out. I don't. Dang it. I wonder if my brother's PlayStation is on. It probably is. But I'll see if I can. Oh, I can't do it currently while I'm broadcasting, so. I can't do it while I'm broadcasting. I'm only gonna broadcast for exactly 2 hours. Well, because I need to make a little longer stream today because I forgot to stream for the last days. I normally do a daily stream. So yeah, on that note, so if you guys are liking the stream at the moment, you could possibly leave a like down below. You could comment. You could possibly even maybe subscribe if you're new. So, what I'm basically doing here is, if you guys don't know, I was describing what the DLC pack for the next DLC pack would look like, possible, release dates. For the first half of the stream, I did actual gameplay, where I didn't talk, I just played the game. I leveled up twice during this stream. Well, no, 3 times. I leveled up 3 times during this stream. I wasn't talking. I was just playing the game. So then my mic, it wasn't working right. So I took a small intervention with about like 6 minutes. Took me about 6 minutes to get my mic working. And so then I started talking about possible DLC possibilities, which, if I'm right, we're gonna go to Pompeii, which will prove my theory about the Samantha's consciousness, that we're actually in Samantha's consciousness. Well, yeah. And dude, do you have a YouTube? Oh. Okay. I was gonna give you a shout out if you had YouTube. I normally give people shout outs. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look who left a like earlier on my thing, and I'm gonna give them a shout out. Come in advanced settings. Oh crud! The people haven't been able to hear me this whole time.